What's going on, y'all? So a little while ago I did a video with the A7 III in low light, and I received a lot of good and positive comments from it. So today in this video I kind of want to go through the things that I do or the things that I look for when I'm filming in low light to get a sharp and clean visual. And keep in mind that the things I'm going to talk about can pretty much be applied to any camera and not just the A7 III. So the clip at the beginning of this video is just something I did real quick with my friend Cynthia, but I do think it's a good representation for some of the things I'm going to be talking about in this video today. So before we jump into it, I think it's super important to kind of define what low light is. You know, I don't view filming in low light as filming in complete darkness. You know, I've never been in a position where I had to film with zero light at all. To me, for example, filming in low light is, or it can be filming at night, you know, where lighting is limited and you don't necessarily have control over it. So with that being said, one of the key things to do when filming in low light is making use of any lighting that's already at the location. You know, whether that be from a street light or a sign, you know, making use of that can help you when exposing. In the scene with Cynthia walking to get into her car, I kind of used the cars passing by and their headlights to kind of light up Cynthia and light up that side of the car. And it kind of made the scene feel more natural as well. One of the main things that I focus on and that helps to get a clean image in low light is keeping your ISO as low as possible when you're exposing. The lower the ISO, the less grain and noise that you have in the image. And that's why it's super important to use any lighting that you have at the location in order to keep the ISO as low as possible. So this is kind of like camera basics, but it is important. So adjusting your shutter speed is something that can help you to keep your ISO low. So the lower the shutter speed, the brighter your image. So if I'm filming low light at 24 frames per second, I'll usually try to keep my shutter speed at 1/50th of a second. And that'll also help to give that cinematic look and feel. There's a general rule that the shutter speed should be double what the frame rate is. So if you're filming at 24 frames per second, then your shutter speed would be 1/50th of a second. If you're filming at 60 frames per second, then your shutter speed would be 1/125th of a second. But like I said, the lower the shutter speed, the brighter the image. So there is a benefit to filming at 24 frames per second versus something like 60 or 72. The next thing that helps to keep your ISO as low as possible is aperture. The lower the aperture, the brighter your image. And this is really dependent on the lens that you're using. Different lenses have different aperture capabilities. So generally speaking, a lens that can go down to f1.4 would perform better in low light than a lens that can only go down to, let's say, f4. And using a low aperture is also how you get that bokeh or that creamy blurry background. So that's pretty much the key points, but there are a couple other things to keep in mind. Remember, it's low light, so there will be dark areas and there will be shadows, and that's completely okay. Keep in mind that nailing your focus is also going to help you to get a sharper image, especially if you're using a low aperture. If I put two videos side by side, both shot at f2, where one has the focus spot on and one has it slightly off, you'll be able to tell the sharper image. And also using portable lighting can help and add to the shot. In the scene where Cynthia was sitting in the car, I put a light in front of her, and that was supposed to make it seem like it was the lights coming off of the dash, but it also illuminated her face and made it easier to expose. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like and jump down in the comments to let me know what you guys think. Also, if you have any other tips or things that you do when you're filming in low light that I didn't talk about here, go ahead and drop that down below. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It only takes a second. And I'm gonna catch you guys real soon in my next one. Peace.